3 renegades, man. We're gonna go where no one notices us. Background?
Is it like a...
It's kind of cool, right? Yeah, right? We're gonna sit down with the camera and talk, right? You know, just talk.
2 chairs?
Maybe dinner, you know? What do you think, dessert? Would you like something to drink? Perhaps a water, beer, or soda? What's up, everybody? I am with the amazing Michael Karras. Michael, what's going on, man?
Not much.
What's
not
up?
Much.
What got you into performing? How'd you start?
My mom was kind of a performer in a way. Like, she was always into theater. Took me to a lot of theater when I was growing up. My dad was a lawyer, but he used to be a drummer, so.
Oh, cool. My dad's a drummer.
I think, cool.
Yeah, man. My dad's drummer, my brother's drummer, my big brother's a drummer. I play bass.
Yeah. I like to think I got my rhythm from my dad and my theatrics from my mom.
So how did, like, the juggling begin? Did anybody teach you? Did you just
I
get
did a lot
into
of
it?
theater as a kid. So I did like a lot of community theater as a kid. And in one of the shows that I was in, there was a guy who knew how to juggle 3 balls.
Okay.
We both had small roles, so we both had a lot of free time. And backstage, I don't know what it was that drew me to it, but you know, something. And I said, "Can you teach me that?"
Right.
He wasn't a great juggler. He could do 3 balls, 2 in one hand. But he taught me the basics, and I practiced backstage with bad technique, by the way. Like, I was shoveling the balls and like juggling them towards myself.
The worst way to practice, you know, you gotta do like this way, like you're scooping ice cream, you know, sideways. No chasing, no walking forward.
Yeah.
Get in front of a bed. Get in front of a bed.
Yeah. But at least like started the spark.
Okay.
And then I kept doing theater, and like 2001, I went away to a theater summer camp.
Okay.
And again, 3 balls, 3 clubs, but that's it.
Okay.
And I met this guy named Jordan, who like he could do Mills Mess and Factory and a little bit of 5 ball.
Wow.
Taught me like poi with 2 clubs, and like all of a sudden I went from a little thing on my resume to like reinvigorated. I haven't really stopped since. I was 16 and
sweet. You got the itch, man.
I totally got the itch that summer and haven't stopped since.
What was that like when you started getting the juggling going? What got you into performing? How did that really work? Where you were just wanting to say, okay, I want to do this professionally, and I want to travel and you know, make money and see the world. How did it get to that serious?
I don't know.
Just from
I think it's something
that camp.
about me. I can't imagine that I would spend all this time honing a skill like juggling and not want to show it off to people.
Okay.
Like when I meet amazing jugglers who are just hobbyists and just like, I do it for fun. I'm like, but you've worked so hard for these incredible skills. Like they should be shared with people. Yeah. But I think it's because a lot of them don't care about the performative aspect of it. Me, I came from theater, so I was always about like performing for people, doing something fun, engaging people. And then juggling just sort of became my preferred medium.
And now you get paid to play.
Yeah, I know.
How
it's like
awesome
crazy.
is that?
You do it too. You know how it is.
It's fun.
Like the greatest job in the world.
So tell me about this. When you're on stage, you have this thing where you like to do it to music, you like doing dancing, and you like to have these really cool beats and cool music. Where does this come from where you wanted to, is it something where you wanted to connect with the audience through music and then through your 3-ball juggling? Because you have a lot of cool videos, a lot of cool things you're doing. Is it with like, I want to show rhythm with juggling? Where does that come from?
I think so. I think I want to do my best to like portray,
especially for the people who don't know juggling. You know, you go to the audience and they just don't know juggling. You want to say, hey, you know what? You can juggle like this.
Right. I think most, you know, your average person watching a juggler perform doesn't know anything about juggling.
Right.
But they do know something about music and rhythm. So if you can use juggling to convey the beat, to visualize the beats of the music, then I think people get it more.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, maybe I don't know exactly what he's doing, but I saw him really, the juggling pattern fit the beat so well that it almost made it easier to digest what I was watching. So, because they're not going to walk away saying, I love that trick he did with this double flip and behind the head.
Right.
It'll just be like, he juggled to the music.
Yeah.
And I felt like he took a song that I love. I like using music that people already kind of know in the pop culture vein.
What kind of music do you like?
I like pop and rap and then video game music, because I used to be a big game.
Nice.
But so I like a lot of different things, but I think people really connect with pop music.
Right.
And it has usually really good rhythms and consistent refrains and everything, and good beats for 3-ball juggling, I think.
Well, you're really known for your 3-ball juggling and really cool little variations. Do you feel like you want to show a visual with the music that you like when you're on stage? I mean, is this where this come from? It's like, okay, so here's the music. You like the music. Yeah, you like that song. I like that song. But check this out. You can use juggling to make this cool visual. And I think that's something I really admire about what you do.
Yeah, and it makes people appreciate the music even more too. And especially if they know the song, they'll know, oh, I wonder if he's going to do something on that one beat that everyone knows where there's like 3 claps in a row.
Yeah.
And someone said that to me in the piece I did. They were like, that one part where the ball hit your head right on the beat before the refrain.
Okay, wait, what happens? So go for it.
Like right before the refrain.
So you juggle 3 balls, or what happens?
Well, she sings, it's gonna be all right, clack, clack. And there are these 2 clack, clacks where it hits my head and falls into my hand. And someone was just like, dude, the fact that you hit that was like, I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And I wanted you to do something special, and you did, so that made me happy.
Is there a favorite prop you like? Is it the balls? Is it clubs,
I think probably
rings?
balls, because it's so easy with balls to do stuff exactly to the rhythm. But it's hard to pick because I love clubs and I love rings.
It seems like when you do the 3 balls, you've taken it to a whole different level. Now, 3 balls, where does that come from starting, everyone does cascades, but now it's like so many variations. Can you explain more about that, where it is now?
I watched the three ball competition today. Did you see that?
Yeah,
I mean, it's just
as well.
like they're doing wild stuff, wild stuff. You know, in the early 2000s, I feel like there was like a string of like 60 tricks, and every single one of them was named. And if you could do all those tricks, you were considered a pretty good 3-ball juggler.
By the way, in those times, there was not much YouTube. There wasn't many videos. So now these days, in this
YouTube
era
and the internet,
of just instant
there are so
gratification
many tricks,
and
they can't all
video.
be named. They can't all be named. There's new 3-ball tricks every single day.
So talk about that. What do you think now with technology and Facebook and Instagram? How has juggling evolved?
It's just hit warp speed in terms of the amount of content that is created every single day. And I think people are.
You think it's a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing.
Okay.
Because it forces you to work harder, and I think people are more in tune to, I need to have my own stuff.
Right.
You know, it's not enough just to. Good jugglers may copy other people's tricks, but to be a really great juggler, you need to come to the table with your own style and your own material, and that's really hard.
And most good jugglers have seen everything. We've seen it all. We've seen all the videos back in the day. We've seen all the videos now. So it's like we've seen tricks, just like anything, any sports or music or musicians. They pretty much know their craft back and forth. So when you come now these days and you get on the stage and perform, it's like, okay, what can I do that's me? It's a great thing because it's like now I can show myself. Instead of just saying, okay, I can learn a trick, okay, now you have a foundation of variety of tricks and under the legs, behind the backs, but now you can do things where, hey, this is what I want to do. And it may be, like Michael Motion said a great thing. He said, the most important thing is, it's the space between the throw and the catch that's the most magical point.
That stuck with
and I thought, I was like, that is awesome. Really because it's not about, what does the throw do? Well, a throw is towards a certain trick, and the catch is towards a certain trick. But the space is who I get to be. I can jump in the air, I can make a breath, I can be wild, I can snap to a music beat, you know? Or I can do a kick. And that is like, okay, that's me. That's Lucian, you know? That's you, that's Michael. So it's like, that's what I feel more people are doing now, which is good, because then we have a lot more creativity and we have the evolution of juggling just going even. Hey, my name Lucian was that name, by the way.
Evolution. Nice. You must have known that.
What are you talking about? It's like revolution, right?
Revolution.
Okay. All right, moving on. But here's the thing, like juggling has moved up and down so crazy in the past, I would say 4 or 5 years, especially with YouTube, that I think, it's a good thing. It's also, it's so much information though. Like every day, it can be too much. So sometimes I have to step back too. I have to go, wait a minute, what do I do with my act? And not just that, what do I want to do with my life? Like, I feel like I want to make sure I have a time to breathe and time to just like work on what I want. So sometimes I don't want to watch, so I can just go with my own like way of feeling. Like, I want this emotion to connect with the audience this way, and I feel like I want to just do this. Then just going with, okay, instant, what's online. It can be too much.
I think it's really good to have those periods of consumption.
Okay.
And then periods of creation.
Okay.
And just trust that you've consumed enough good material.
Yeah.
And you have your own technique, that it's time to shut off the internet and just go into a room and jam and see what comes up. And if you do something that feels too similar to someone else, riff on it.
Right.
You know, you start riffing on things and you start to find things that are distinctly you.
Let's go to that creation. Do you feel like you like to put yourself in a space with your props that you want to use for that show, and then just kind of have experimental, jam out, for a couple hours, put on some good music? What do you like to do?
For me, like with this last routine that I put together, it was like I knew the song I wanted. I had a deadline, which is important. I can't stand artists that never have deadlines. It's too wishy-washy. I had a deadline. I had music I wanted. And then I
Do you
had
take
this
notes too? Do you have like a
I have like a piece
notebook?
of paper where I'm like, here's kind of the structure that I want, and here are certain tricks that I know I can do with 4 balls. But then I want the tricks to match the music well, and I want them to match the move. I want tricks that allow for movement.
Do you have a time limit? Like, okay, it needs to be 2 minutes long, or it needs to be 3
if
minutes
it's
long?
a piece of music, like I knew this.
Okay, so you
last
just go with the
piece I
music.
did has to be, 3.5 minutes long.
Since you've been performing and traveling and stuff, what are some wild things that you've had where maybe music wasn't right, or maybe the costume wasn't right, or something happened but you still had to go with the show?
Well,
Anything you remember?
I do this one trick that a lot of jugglers do, where I fit through a tennis racket.
Okay.
A million other
Yep.
performers do it, but when I do a kids show, I'll juggle and fit through a tennis racket at the same time, and it's very small. And the only way it works is if I'm not wearing a belt,
Okay.
and because the belt prevents it from going. And one time, I accidentally forgot to take my belt off. I was stuck, pun intended, in a situation where I had to, at a kids show, take my belt off, which is totally awkward. I think I ended up saying, hold on, let me go backstage, and I made it a bit.
Oh, okay.
I took my belt off stage because I knew that wouldn't look right.
But you still kept the racket on, yeah.
Still kept the racket on,
Okay.
and then I was able to finish the trick.
Oh, that's great.
Man, this I can't take my pants off because then I'll definitely be run out of town.
Yeah.
So that was a little crazy.
If you had to think about, just doing shows, is there a preparation that you like to do before you get on stage that helps you to relax or helps you to focus on what you do on stage? Or is there a mental thing you like to think about? I mean, for me, the practice is done a couple weeks before. I'm ready to do the show. I'm pumped for the music. I'm pumped for the idea. I can't wait till these people see what this is going to be. I'm going to go out there and give some energy and emotion. Is there some kind of mindset that you like to have for your own personal thing?
I try to remind myself that the important thing is to remember them, right? Of course I'm going to be focused on, I want to do a good job. I want to feel good about my performance. But then it's too selfish.
Yeah.
I need to remind myself right before I go on stage that even if I'm not feeling great or my voice is tired, my hands are tired, the important thing is giving them a feeling of happiness.
Right.
Everyone's lives are super stressful, and what we do is like this wonderful gift of like joy that we get to share with the audience. And so it shouldn't be about, look how awesome I am, look at these skills I can do that you can't. It should be about, I love juggling. Let me try to impart or share that love with the audience. Because even if I don't have a perfect show, if I really enjoy what I'm doing and impart that to the audience, they're going to have a good time too, and they're going to apply that. If they're having a stressful day, they're going to take that joy and that excitement and apply it to the rest of their day.
Are you from New York City area, or have you?
I was born in Pittsburgh, but I moved to New York after college in 08.
What's it like being in New York City?
It's fantastic.
Okay.
I mean, as a lover of theater and museums and just urban living, it's great. Awesome. If you need to get away from New York, you're still close to like all these awesome cities, Philly, Boston, DC.
Right. Okay.
So I like it. I think I'd go crazy living in a rural environment for more than
Really? So you like the busyness of the city?
I do like
happening.
the busyness. But I live in Forest Hills, Queens, which if you look up Forest Hills, Queens, it's chill. Like there's lots of trees and it's a quiet neighborhood. So I can get into the city in like a half an hour.
Okay, cool.
But I go home to peace and quiet.
What is performing given back to you?
A sense of belonging.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we all want to belong, and I think that performing and juggling specifically has given me a family, it's given me a place of acceptance, and it's given me a space where I feel like I can create things that matter to me and seem to strike a chord with
Is
other
there a
people.
reason why you picked juggling as like, I'm just going to continue doing this? There's something
I think
beyond the
because
theater?
I enjoyed it initially, and then I felt like I was good enough in the medium that I could express joy and express the things that I wanted to express well with juggling.
And you thought, okay, well, this is working. Things are going well.
People seem to enjoy it, and what I'm attempting to convey seems to be successfully conveyed to people. So maybe this is my medium.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to start getting into performing?
Just any sort of performing?
Anything.
Only do it if it's really truthful to you. Don't do it because someone else thinks you're a great performer, but it doesn't quite feel right to you. I mean, that's the whole thing about Anthony Gatto. Like, his father was a juggler, and he trained him, and Anthony Gatto is like accepted by many to be the greatest juggler of all time.
Yep, one of the best for sure.
But then he took breaks, and now he's kind of seemed to have given it up completely. And the question is always like, was his heart ever really in it? Or was he just told by so many people, you're so great, keep doing it? But how did he feel about it? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know him well enough to ask, but if you're getting into performing, do it because it makes you happy.
Right.
And you feel like you get to share your happiness with other people. Otherwise, it's just, you're a fraud.
If you feel every time you're on stage, right, and you love what you do, the audience leaves home happy.
They do.
And makes a memorable experience. I mean, to me, that's a memory of a lifetime.
Right.
I mean, every day you have a new, fresh audience, and they have no idea what you're going to do. They have no idea what's going to happen.
Right.
To make them smile and walk away, it's unbelievable, you know? Mm-hmm. So to have this gift, this talent of juggling, and be really good at it, and get paid to do it and travel, it's pretty awesome.
I think so.
Right?
And you could do the worst show of your life and then walk out after, and someone says, I've had medical problems for the past year, and this is the first time that I've laughed in over a year.
Wow.
That's happened to me before.
Really?
Like,
really?
Yeah, you finish the show and you're like, I kind of bombed that, like it didn't go that great. And then you meet someone after and they're like, I haven't laughed so hard in the past year, or I lost my mom, or
wow.
Man. Okay, so you need to remember that what you're doing, even on your worst
makes
day,
a huge difference. Yeah.
Just can really brighten someone's day.
Awesome. Well, you brought my day.
Yeah,
you've actually been awesome.
You're a great interviewer.
Yeah. Me and Michael. Awesome times here at IJA Fest. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys next time. That's it, man. Look how easy that was.
Dude, you killed it. You're awesome. You've got great energy.
Thanks,
and,
man.
You're good at asking questions.
Did you feel okay?
I felt totally
I'm still recording, by the way.
Felt totally.
I forgot
This is all off camera. Extra content.
And cut.